Um,
Include that audio.
so, who gets AFC and who gets NFC?
Whoever wants it. 'Cause I really
I'll
don't
take
care.
NFC.
Okay. All right. And
It's
we
actually gonna be
are
harder for
go.
me because
Yeah, NFC is going to be a little bit tougher.
there are only a couple teams that are legitimately in need of a rebuild.
Bad, yeah. Two of them are in our division, so.
Yeah, that's true.
But that's about it.
Yeah.
Them and the Bears. That's really all I can think of for that.
Yeah.
Anyways. So to anybody wondering, the two of us plan on doing basically a little head-to-head kind of little rebuilding. We're going to both take a team, one out of the AFC, one out of the NFC, and we're basically just going to rebuild the team and see who can get the farthest with that team for the first season. Then who knows how long we decide to carry it through, a couple seasons or so. We'll see. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started with it. I don't even know how to set up a freaking franchise. I'm not ready.
Let's get jiggy with it. Do you want me to set it up?
Start a franchise?
I can set it
can.
up. All right.
Are we going to use preseason roster or the active roster?
Let's go preseason to make it even harder.
Okay. Yeah, I'll let you set it up.
All right. Preseason.
Welcome to franchise mode. The best way to play for a season with your favorite team. In Madden 17, we're giving you more control and more decisions for more impact. Control the game like never before with players.
So I got to pick a team of the AFC.
Skip that. All right.
Select the team you want to join. Don't worry, you'll be able to choose the one you planned in just a second.
How many teams are there? What teams are in the AFC? I mean, the Titans don't need a rebuild. The Jaguars.
You could choose the Jaguars.
Could take the Jets. Maybe, depending on considering how bad they did this year. Look through the rosters.
Create owner, because fuck Jed York.
Oh, you're going with the Niners, huh? That's a little disrespectful.
Hey, they're the team most in need of a rebuild.
Yeah. The Browns.
Okay, yeah, that works.
I didn't even think about the Browns. I don't know if I want to
forgot about the
that.
Browns. I mean, how could you?
Everybody forgets about the Browns.
Yeah, that's kind of true. Okay.
Take the Chargers. I mean, they go 8-8, but.
It's gonna be Jed York,
Look at the
but
flick of the
backwards.
Making Jed York. Yeah, that's. I mean, really, all I can think of is Browns. You got Browns, Jets, Jaguars. Just like you really only have Niners, Rams, and Bears to pick from. So I mean, fuck it. I'll rock out with the Bears. I gotta make some wild trades though.
Here, let me set some more options.
I can't go too wild, but.
Using
and you can set this on all 12 for the difficulty. I'll rock out with that.
400. Got 2 achievements right off the bat. Sweet. Retire. Whoops.
For what?
Oh, I created a player and chose a former player, and it started me out with 500 legacy. So I got 2 achievements for creating a player with 40 and surpassed 40 and then 500 legacy. All right, so I'm gonna put the quarter at 10 minutes. How's that sound?
Yeah, go ahead. That's fine.
Alright, launch trade deadline. That's gonna be all pro. Because that's kind of the point of rebuilding. Everything off. All the CPU stuff is off.
Do a little bit of different.
League name.
And go ahead. Yep, injuries are on. We don't. This is like a totally normal season. Salary cap. None of this fuck around shit that we did with Kenny, where salary cap is off and all that crap.
Wait, trying to get that.
Oh shit! I just opened up something else. No. Close.
Jeez, alright.
Okay. Just opened up another window on my computer. Not what I wanted to do.
Alright, that's not how you spell Twitch.
It's definitely how you spell Twitch.
Freaking
Goddamn
keyboard's
computer,
spawning
stop it.
every other letter.
My mouse is going out. Bum 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 ba dum ba ba bum ba 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 bum.
Alright.
We'll just wait till we get this all set up. And then we'll be bueno to go. Bueno.
Alright. Okay, now I'm gonna invite you.
Sweet. So let's get this shit going.
Gotta find, there he is. Alright, I am gonna make a couple free agent signings.
I might have to too. We'll see how this goes. Did you send me the invite already?
Yeah.
Okay. Rebuilding Twitch. Accept. So we're taking.
That's actually.
You know, if this was last year, I could have done the Raiders, but they went 13-3 this year, 12-4, whatever. So no, they went 11-5, didn't they?
Dude, the
'Cause
Raiders
they
did
lost
okay
their
last
couple
year.
games after.
The only
They
time they've been
would have
acceptable.
gone 13-3
Yeah.
if Derek Carr didn't get hurt.
There we go.
You got the
enough.
Cleveland Browns over here. That's who I'm going to be rebuilding. Change role. I'm really not going to mess with the whole being a owner thing, so I'm just going to do a coach. Yeah, I'm just going to be a coach. I'm not going to mess with the owner thing.
Holy crap. Really good tight end. I ain't worried about that.
And you know what? I'm not even going to mess with the coach. I'm just going to play as Hugh Jackson. We'll see if I can not manually, let's see if I can just turn this team around with him. Make everybody think that Hugh Jackson's a god, but really it's me.
Are you playing as the coach?
It's the man behind the screen that you don't see. Yeah.
Oh, I'm playing as the owner.
I don't want to be the owner. Oh my god, it is so hot in my room. Ah. Tis the preseason. Alright. Looking at this team.
Tis the
I have
preseason to be
RG3.
jolly.
Wow. Okay. I've got Joe Thomas. That's about it.
Hey, you got Joe Thomas, dude.
Oh, I have Joe Hayden.
And Joe Hayden.
Paul Kruger. They run a fucking 3-4. Did
Really? I
not know
thought the
that.
Browns were on a oh, did you say 3-4?
You say the defensive line first, right? Or is it the linebackers first?
What do you mean?
Right, like the schemes? Because I've never understood the schemes.
Oh,
for the most part. Like Kenny's always been the one who knows the schemes.
Oh yeah. D-line is
It's
first.
the
in that.
defense. It's the.
D-line
Yeah,
is
so it's
first,
a
so
3-4.
like Seattle runs a 4-3.
Yeah.
4 D linemen, 3 linebackers.
That's four. Yeah, and 3 linebackers. Yeah, they run three linebackers for 3 linemen, 4 linebackers. The Browns do.
Yeah.
All right.
Which, in my opinion, 4-3 only works if you have a run stuffing. If you have 2 run stuffing D tackles.
First thing I'm gonna do.
I have shit for corners, so.
So what? I should have looked at my salary cap before I went and started signing players, but oops.
Well, whoops.
How do I check that? Is it my team?
Answer me the question.
Salaries. Cap space. I have 43 million in cap space right now. So this is like the first time I've actually messed with the salary cap, because for the most part I just mess around and like play this game to play it. So now I'm actually taking it seriously. We're gonna see how well this works.
Well, Sheldon, unless we both make the Super Bowl, we won't be seeing each other for a couple seasons.
That's fair enough. I mean, they just played last year, so
yeah,
it's gonna be another 4 years or so.
All right, let's try this out.
Before the two divisions come back to each other.
4 years to be exact. 4 seasons.
Yep.
Well, 3, but.
So I've got 43 million in cap space to mess around with for this season. Then I can decide what happens after that. I might even stick with RG3.
He's all right.
Maybe I could just make him a little bit better. Because, I mean, he's got some good stats. Like 85 speed, 92 throw power, only an 80 throw on the run, but that's what a lot of them have. Only question is like his medium accuracy and his deep accuracy is pretty bad. An 80 injury, yeah, that's about right. He's been injured all the fucking time.
I'm surprised it's not like 50.
I'll stick with. I know, right? It's alright, I went ahead and. Well, I don't know. Depth chart, let's check this. I have more faith in this punk than anybody else, any of the other teams, so. We might as well just move him up the depth chart a little bit.
I'm just gonna play like the first quarter of the preseason game.
Yeah. My receivers. Players like Taylor Gabriel. Didn't he end up on the freaking Falcons?
Taylor Gabriel? Yeah.
Yeah.
Went there and became a postseason star.
Yeah, so you know what? I'm gonna keep an eye on this guy.
Alright, Ellington, don't fumble
He's
this
got a
like you did
91
against San
speed.
Diego all those years ago.
Isaiah Crowell.
Watch me.
I've got a decent
Watch
tight
me
end in Gary Barnage.
Watch me, Nene.
Just the only thing I can really use is a fullback and some like middle linebackers. I guess a secondary in general. I got Joe Hayden and that's it. Everybody else is just dookie.
Jeez. Alright, Colin. Don't fuck up this throw.
I'm gonna sign a strong safety.
Oh god, that was freaking terrible. Jeez. This is gonna be a long franchise.
Dante Whitner's a
I'm gonna have to
freaking
draft a QB.
free agent. Oh, I'm signing this dude. He's young.
Who?
Will Hill the third.
Oh, Will Hill, dude. He's the guy who got that blocked field goal return for a touchdown to end the game against the Ravens, or not the he was with the Ravens.
Oh.
It was against the Browns. You remember that?
Oh yeah.
On Monday Night Football.
Well, guess what? Now he's on the Browns. Yeah, I remember that. Dude, no, he was in the free agent market. He's an 85 overall.
Oh, Vance McDonald is wide open. Get there, Vance. Get to the end zone, you slow ass white dude. All right, you got there. Freaking,
All right.
freaking Jonathan Joseph and
87
company were about
speed.
to catch me.
Freaking 89 hit power. Let's see how this goes.
All right. Don't miss this. Phil Dawson, you bastard. You made it.
I guess the only thing I could do is go, like, practice. Oh, training complete. Can I still assign focus players? No, I can't. I have to be in week 1. Okay. Alright, well, it's time to play the Packers.
Brock Osweiler, probably the worst starting QB next to Blaine Gabbert.
Yeah.
Literally the only reason the Texans were in the playoffs was their defense.
Yeah.
Yeah, get him, Bowman.
This loading screen could not take any longer.
Jeez. Oh no. Oh no. Okay. These guys were just slow getting there. What's up with all these blitzes?
It's the question mark for it. Yo, what's up, dude? Calm down, sit down, and enjoy this little
Wow, freaking air.
getting the
missed that.
schlong from the Packers because I'm gonna lose this game. That's what happens when I play as the Browns. This is gonna be bad. I can already
Change the
tell.
volume.
Ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front. Really well done.
On second down, here's Miller. And 3 yards there, takes him to the 45.
Holding offense.
So there you go, holding by the offense, and that'll push him back.
Changes everything now as you try and figure out what your playbook has for you. Longer yardage situations, tougher to execute and pick up first downs.
This is the running back, Blue. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. 5 yards on the carry there, and it leaves him with 3rd and about 6 yards to go.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
We heard them talk before the game about utilizing the intermediate passing game this week. It works for them there. They move the chains.
And we saw them work on it in practice as well, and most teams take a period at a time to work on different things. They put a couple of periods of work into the intermediate passing game, and now we know exactly why. They got the look that they were seeking, and they were able to take advantage of it. Brandon, that play ended so fast, it's almost as if the quarterback handed it to the runner, and the tackler was there right away for a loss of yardage.
They'll run it again with Miller, and he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
That draw play got blown up by the blitz of the defense. Ordinarily, that's exactly what you want. You want them to blitz, and they go past you, and you go past them for a big gain. But in this situation, they hit him at the worst possible spot, right exactly where you were running the draw, and he got in there and got him.
That one good for 12 yards, and that's going to bring up the 4th down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
On 4th down, the Texans will turn it over to the active leader in punting yards, and that's Shane Leckler. Bruce Ellington back deep for the Niners. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. The 49er offense now making their way out onto the field. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see that sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. We become so accustomed to it, you sort of take it for granted.
You really do, but he is so good that every team in his division, every year, is trying to make sure they draft people charged with trying to block J.J. Watt. So far, hasn't been too successful. As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable, usually an excellent target, and normally catches what's thrown to him, but he didn't on that play.
Taking it about the 16. A very good return that time. 18 yards, and the Texans take possession. Out comes a Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And they'll be looking to avoid what happened last time, which is punting the football.
But when you look at how teams play the game, that complementary football comes into play. How do I take care of my defense? How do I take care of my offense? Well, the defense is taking care of them in a lot of ways. Now it's time for the offense to jump things up and help their defense out. Give them a little bit of rest.
Yeah, time for them to give them a rest. Took the words right out of my mouth. And that's a guy, Lamar Miller, from Miami, went to the University of Miami, was playing for the Dolphins, but now moved to the Lone Star State.
Yeah, how about that? And sometimes that change of scenery, it may look like it's going to affect him adversely. He's away from his home for the first time ever. But sometimes you get out on your own somewhere else, that can increase your performance. You only focus on your football.
And a look now at the defensive starters for San Francisco.
Eric Armstead was a big-time high school basketball player turned into college football All-American. Now they're counting on him in the NFL to fulfill his promise.
And they're 6 yards away from picking up the first here on second down. Miller, the lone setback. He'll get the football here. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
Well, on that play, the expression, don't blink, you might miss something, certainly applied. That was fast. Defense diagnosed the play, and it was over in a heartbeat.
Osweiler. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up fourth. Here's Shane Leckler now, as he'll punt it away for the second time.
Partner, how many times have you heard it? Pressure creates diamonds, right? But it also bursts pipes. And on that one, that's what they got. They got after him, and he was fortunate just to get rid of it.
Yeah, he just had to chuck it away. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
And a look at the defense now. Back to the air on second down. It's Kaepernick. It's caught. Left side, Bolden. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. That goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
Here's Bradley Pinion now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first.
Third down is a down. Both sides know they absolutely have to win. And the name of the game for the defense is pressure on the quarterback. But pressure on the quarterback with contact, that's how you end up winning it.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And that will come the offense as they take over. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. And last time out, they had to punt the football away. Anything positive possibly to take from that?
There always is when you're punting the football away. It doesn't sound like it because you're giving it up, but you've avoided a mistake.
At least you didn't turn it over.
You didn't turn it over, right? You're giving your defense a chance because you're punting the ball away, and they're set to go on the field as opposed to sudden change after a turnover. Wow, now we got to go out there and stop people. So, yeah, there's always something positive to be gained from it.
At the end of one, 7-0 is our score. EA Sports NFL with Charles Davis. I'm And Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaughan. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA.
Now let's take a minute to see how you can improve your team. everyone. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. It's hard to imagine this not being a fun game to watch. It's the 49ers going up against the Broncos. With that, let's send you out to Denver. We're standing by in the booth are two men who will call the game for us. That's Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, we are a couple miles west of the Colorado State Capitol building as we come to you from Sports Authority Field at Mile High here in downtown Denver. Tonight, it's a preseason matchup between the San Francisco 49ers and the Denver Broncos. Welcome in, everyone. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. So you've got 1 week of preseason games in the books. Now you start to really assess some of the vets and, of course, some of the young players.
You're exactly right, because now there's a week's worth of film out there for everyone to watch. And for guys who may or may not make these particular teams, that film would be out there around the league, so maybe they can catch on somewhere else if they have to. But this would be a lot of fun to see how much time the veterans play versus how much time the young guys get.
Now the veteran kicker, Phil Dawson, ready to get us started. And off we go from Sports Authority Field. It's a short kick, taken at the 15. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. So here are the defending Super Bowl champion Broncos on offense now. They'll be led out by their 6'7" quarterback out of Memphis. It's Paxton Lynch.
And there's no getting around it. When you first look at Paxton Lynch, you see his height. You see 6'7". You can't get past it. But don't think that he's immobile. This guy has great footwork, quick feet, and moves around really well. And when you think you've got him hemmed in the pocket, he can escape in a big way and then beat you downfield with his arm.
The first-round pick from a year ago, Eric Armstead. In there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations, because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. Quarterback was hit.
And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets him back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. Here's the offense, and you got to talk about the guy that they nicknamed Bebe, Charles Demarius Thomas.
You worry about him catching the ball, but you worry more about what he does after the catch. Big, strong, physical. He makes plays downfield.
And I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long. A fake to Anderson, now it's Lynch. Looking deep for Demarius. It's caught inside the 25. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Demarius Thomas, 77 yards. And the Broncos have taken the early lead. Not a bad way to start it.
And I think that was part of their script, because so many teams script their opening possessions, and whether it's just that possession or even deeper into the half, sometimes it's 15 to 30 plays. That had to be one in there where they call a shot play. Go for the big one, and they got it done.
And the mile-high air in full effect as that's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. They'll be led out by their 6-year quarterback out of Nevada. Still a 49er, it's Colin Kaepernick.
And all we kept hearing was that he was going to be somewhere else, didn't we? The trade rumors were all over the place. What were we talking about, Denver? I think the Jets there was some discussion about.
Buffalo a little bit, Cleveland.
Yeah, a whole bunch of different places, but he's back in San Francisco.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the safety, T.J. Ward. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line.
Well, we can easily say, what a start defensively. First quarter, and the defense already got in the lead before they even stepped on the field. And now they come up with an interception on the very first play they're out there. If they can turn this into points, that would be an absolute dream start to this game.
And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. And the 49ers on the defensive side of the football.
Antoine Bethea plays the safety position with intelligence and excellent tackling ability.
On 2nd down, here's Lynch. Incomplete. Emmanuel Sanders, the intended receiver. And that'll make it 3rd down.
But there was no trace of nervousness there. He was able to diagnose that play from his linebacker position, stay in excellent coverage, and bat the ball away.
All right, here we go. 3,
On third down, Lynch. And Fowler's got it. A gain of 13 and also the first down.
So how do you beat man coverage? First of all, you want to be a superior receiver, but you know something, that guy who's covering you, he's usually pretty good too. So the corner route is usually a great spot to get it done.
They'll throw on first down with Lynch. This will be caught just inside the 10. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
On second down, Anderson. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. So he loses 3 yards there. Now third down.
So often you hear defensive coaches talk about we need all 11 on every play in order to be a good run-stopping unit. And sometimes it starts to sound a little...
And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. C.J. Anderson from 10 yards out. And the Broncos will add on to their lead. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he connects with Vance McDonald. It's a gain of 21 that time. And the 49ers are going to get a first. They were ready for what the defense was showing. They had prepared for that look, recognized it, went straight to the air, got the first. Well done.
Love the recognition because you can prepare for everything. You can watch the tape and put together your game plan, but you still have to understand what they're doing in terms of what they're showing and be able to adjust accordingly, and they did exactly that.
They go play action for Hyde. Now Kaepernick. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete. The veteran Andre Johnson the target on that one. And it's third down. And here's a look at the defense for Denver.
DeMarcus Ware may be a veteran, but he's not just a wily one. He's a terrific producer. Still extremely difficult to block when he's rushing the passer.
9 yards to go. It's third down. On third and long, it's Kaepernick. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Vance McDonald, the tight end, was the target. And that brings up fourth down. Now here's the Niners' 5th-round pick in the 2015 draft. Bradley Pinion on to punt it away. Emmanuel Sanders deep for the Broncos. And this ball is going to be down now right at the 10-yard line. Good spot. We get a look now at the 49ers defense as they get into position. And despite being down on the scoreboard, this unit, they've had some big-time hits.
Sort of like us at practice the other day. I saw you take a running start at that blocking sled. You took it down.
Bounced off like a rubber band.
No, not at all, but you're exactly right. They are doing their job, but they want to add takeaways to it. You need to have more of those to go along with the big hits we're seeing.
By the way, when I tried that and I bounced back, I noticed that you laughed with everyone else. You didn't try to get in my corner.
No. Someone had just told me a joke on the other side.
Right,
I missed that.
Right.
Totally missed it.
Now Lynch on first down. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it.
Hey. You got three. Let's go. 3-19. 3-19.
Anderson. It's a loss of 2. Now third down.
The evaluation process in today's NFL does not take into account as much bulk as it does speed, and that's what we're seeing with the linebacker position. Those guys that can run, they can play at any spot because they can make plays on the opposite side of the line of scrimmage.
And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Normally, he's pretty reliable. He usually catches what's thrown to him. On that play, he simply dropped it.
He'll send this away into the Rocky Mountain Night, and it's a good one. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. We focus our attention now on the Broncos defense. They did their job last go-around, forced the punt, hoping for more of that here.
They got off the field. That's exactly what they wanted to accomplish. Get off the field, turn the ball over to their offense, and kick back and enjoy a little bit of water and rest before they have to go back out there again.
Back out there now, hoping to hurry up and get more water and rest. Second down following the run.
And Carlos Hyde's such a physical, tough runner. People are talking about him changing his style. I don't think he should change a thing, and I know he wants to add catching the ball to his arsenal as well.
One thing's for sure, he said in the offseason he told us he's happy to be in a Chip Kelly offense, isn't he?
No doubt about it. When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
They'll run it. Here's Hyde. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs. Smart approach there, using the run to pick up the first. And that was a defensive setup they'd prepared for this week, knowing that keeping it on the ground was the best way to attack it.
And that means also that they're able to read them pretty well. All the things they prepared for, when they get to the line of scrimmage, they see it in pre-snap recognition and know exactly how to attack based on their planning and preparation.
On second down, here's Kaepernick. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. A solid gain of 15 yards, and the sticks move.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
That one intended for Anquan Bolden, and that'll bring up second down.
He's not exactly had a banner start to this game. We're still in the first quarter. He's already thrown an interception, and that should have been the second one.
Back to the air on second down. It's Kaepernick. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Today's NFL, these big guys are featured receivers. They move all over the place to try and find good matchups, and they had one. They were just unable to complete the pass.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. To throw, it's Kaepernick. He's going to rifle one deep left side. Torrey Smith, the intended receiver. And fourth down coming up.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
Now a high kick, almost a pooch punt. And he did get it back, I do think, yes. So no turnover on the punt, and it'll be a first down.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atoned for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. Looking left side and completing it to Thomas. Demaryius Thomas. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Demaryius Thomas with his second touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Broncos will extend their lead. That's a heck of a start to this one for him here in the first quarter.
2 receiving touchdowns, just getting the game underway essentially. I mean, there's a long way to go. If I'm on defense, I've got to figure out how to slow this guy down, because when one guy shreds your team, that's demoralizing. Make him spread it around at least. But right now, he's showing no signs of slowing down.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And to no one's surprise here in Denver, that'll carry through the back of the end zone for a touchback. The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Offense looking to avoid a 3rd and long. It's 2nd and 10. Off the play fake to Hyde. Here's Kaepernick. And he's going to go down. It's a sack on Kaepernick. The reigning Super Bowl MVP, Von Miller, in there to sack him for a loss of 6. The Broncos going dime. 2 extra defensive backs for 3rd down.
Playing pass all the way.
Kaepernick now on 3rd and goal.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. Call it an even 40-yard punt. 7, though, on the return. And the Broncos take over. 1st down and 10. A chance for us to look now at this 49ers defense. And maybe for them at this stage, it's sort of put up or shut up time. They need to stop trailing here.
Oh, I'm with you totally on that one. They've got to go out there now and put an end to what's been going on in this ball game where they've just given up points, gotten pushed around, so to speak, during this contest. They've got to find a way to end it right here, right now.
Can they end it? Let's find out.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Credit the tackle there to Aaron Lynch. Now this will probably be the last play of the quarter. So they'll give a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've hit the end of quarter 1. It's the Broncos with the early lead. Charles and I back to Denver after this.
This presentation of the NFL on EA Sports is brought to you.
Back alongside Charles Day. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about it.
You have an injury from the last game. See how long they will be out. use your practice squad to develop younger players that can eventually contribute in games.
I'd rather sit here and play Madden all night long, but oh well.
Yeah.
What can you do?
What can you do?
With that, thank you guys for coming out, tuning in, hanging out with us while we play some Madden, and I'm learning how to rebuild a team. So, yeah, as we said, we'll probably get to this. I'll put it in my, update my schedule thing just in my panels or whatever, kind of let everybody know. But this will be every Saturday, 5:30 p.m. Pacific time, just to let everybody know that we'll be here doing this. And we'll keep up on this one. We do a lot of other stuff on this channel that's kind of just like whenever the fuck I feel like it. But this one I'll stick to the schedule and keep it going that way. So yeah, with that,
stream.
if you guys like the content, like what I do, go ahead and hit that follow button. I love every single one of you that do. And with that, I'm out of here. Goodbye.
Bye, Sheldon Stream. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you to anyone who tuned in during the stream. I always love and appreciate the support. I'm gonna check back in probably like hour and a half. See if episode 5 is up for download. If not, I'll download that tomorrow morning and get right into that. Because I'm probably gonna want to dive right in as soon as I wake up. Because the build-up is so suspenseful. Anyway, rambling aside, next Sunday, probably, we're going to start off the season, play a couple games of that, 5:30, be sure to tune in. Have a nice day, stay in drugs, don't do